What's up, nerds and nerdettes and wee little nerdlings all? It's your buddy Big Johnny G for Two Gun Pixie presents Legendary Gaming. Midday Monologue Monday here with Two Gun Pixie, my friends. How's it going? I'm your buddy Big Johnny G. And every Monday I deliver you thoughts that are on my mind concerning RPGs and board games, and well, mostly that's about it. Now, this week I want to talk about something that I don't understand why it's broken. I have no idea. It's not broken everywhere, just in a few places. And it's been like this pretty much as long as I can remember. What I'm talking about is the imbalance, the broken system that I keep finding concerning the translation of certain superhero powers to board games. And in the old days, video games too as well. I guess I can say that in all honesty. But yeah, it's a problem, I find it. And the reason it's a problem is because it breaks the character. But also, more importantly, it works in other gaming mediums. What I'm talking about is healing. Specifically, magical or some otherwise sped up superhuman healing factor. I remember the late 80s, early 90s, when the X-Men arcade game came out. You were on a waiting list, practically in most arcades, to get on that game and play it. But I remember being so let down that Wolverine's health, he would take hits, and it would improve, but really slowly. And then he could be, beaten or shot to death. And I say it that way quite bluntly, to death. Because I don't know how you view the newer video games, but, in the old days, much like baseball, you had 3 strikes and you were out. 3 lives. That's literally what they're called. Lives. You lost a life, you have 2 left. Why was Wolverine being beaten and shot to death? No, that doesn't make sense. Well, on the other hand, when you look at games like Dungeons and Dragons, role-playing games, not board games or video games, role-playing games, they don't suffer from this attitude, I think is what it really is. You look at Trolls. In the Dungeons & Dragons game, I'm sure there's tweaks between the systems and the additions. But you just look at, classically, the troll is able, in Dungeons & Dragons, is able to regenerate from anything outside of, in most cases, basically fire and acid. And is constantly regenerating every single turn. Whether it is fighting, or sleeping, or unconscious, it doesn't matter. It is healing at its max ability at all times. And now you look at board games, and they follow suit with the video games that I've found. You look at systems like Marvel Champions, the card game, right? You look at systems like that. And when you have characters like Wolverine and X-23 that should not be taking the sustained beatings that they are taking, it doesn't make sense. Why are they afraid to give him full regenerative abilities? Why is that going to break anything? Healing factors don't break things in RPGs at all. I've never once in my 45, 46, 47, whatever the hell years it's been, I don't ever recall one player coming up to me and saying, John, Healing factors for monsters in D&D? No, that's too OP, John. You got to get rid of that. Never once has it been considered OP or game-breaking. Now, maybe it's considered game-breaking for board games because it's the good guys, it's the player characters. Maybe they just don't see any way of handling it. Well, if that's the case, then the game design and the game writing really just comes down to laziness. I mean, it really does. If role-playing games and dungeon masters don't find fast healing, regeneration, healing factors, a problem, then why should game creators of board games and video games find it to be so difficult to add into the game? I mean, yeah, they added in like little bits at a time, like in Marvel Champions. You have to basically, more or less, if you really want to get your healing back for Wolverine, you gotta rest. You gotta flip to your Logan side and basically just chill. I don't ever recall Wolverine's healing factor to be dependent on whether he's taking a nap or whether he's in a life or death fight with Sabretooth. It's not like the healing factor just waits for him to be at rest before it works. It's constantly working, and unless some factor comes into play, otherwise it is always working at full capacity. Like you see in games like Dungeons and Dragons and role-playing games, with trolls, for example, classic, as I've been talking about. But it's a problem for your superhero to have regenerative powers? It's almost like the writers of the game, the designers of the game, are just too lazy or stupid to figure out other ways to deal with healing characters. Maybe if one of them had been a DM for a few years, they'd be able to solve this problem. Like, one of the things I think of offhand is if a character is healing, then just trap them. If you can't beat them down, freeze them in a block of ice. Put them in an electric cage, a lightning ball or something, or cement. There are ways to deal with healing characters. If you just take 2 minutes to think about it, just because a character heals rapidly within seconds, like think of the X-Men movie Wolverine outside Iceman's house, gets shot in the head by the cop. A minute later, the bullet pops out of his damn skull because his body has healed itself, regenerated itself, and pushed it right out. If it wasn't the fact that he got shot in the brain, a quote death shot, he wouldn't even have fallen down and needed a moment to heal. Because he doesn't in any other situation. It just seems like they don't want to bother with doing their jobs. I've said it. I said it right there. Doing their jobs. Their job is to write information for a game, to create a game, and they're just getting super damn lazy. Oh, well, Wolverine, we can make him fall from bullets anyway. It'd be too much work to think of some factor to put in the game to be able to stop Wolverine player. So, if muggers shoot him, he can take damage and fall. Lazy and stupid. Why these people are getting paid a paycheck is beyond me. They fall into the category. We've all worked jobs where we come into the job every day and we see that one person. That one damn person. You know what I'm talking about. Because when you see them, the first thing runs through your mind is, how the hell do you still have a job here? That's what I feel like every single time. This lazy damn writing. Lazy damn game creation. Oh, we can't handle Wolverine's regeneration, so we're just going to nerf it down really, really harsh. So we don't have to think of anything else to do. Man. I'm done. I am over that so much. You know, and even if you look at Wolverine in board games versus Wolverine in role-playing games, again, we find the same thing. In role-playing games, the healing factor is not a problem. So what is the problem with board game designers that they are lazy and stupid when they're compared to role-playing game designers? No, I'm sorry. Are you upset? Then prove me wrong. Go out and design a board game that incorporates healing factors the way they really work in other systems, like comic books, movies, role-playing games. Go ahead, prove me wrong.